Joining me now is someone who was in Afghanistan during that horrible withdrawal, a guy who gets the concept peace through strength, Oklahoma Senator and member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, Senator Markwayne Mullin. Sir, appreciate you being here.
Hey, Carl, glad to be on your show. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, no,
Although
it
I'm
is.
not sure those weights that you were lifting a while ago was actual, like, they look big, but I think it was like the really small weights that look big. They just make them look better for ego purposes.
We have great editors here, and they can make anything look heavy. It's amazing, actually. Senator, the biggest concern here is, are we a capable fighting force? Like, if we went to war, had to go to war, obviously nobody wants that, but would we be able to staff our military?
Today, yes, but we're slowly losing guys like yourself. We've been at war for 20 years and war on terror, and so we still have the capability, but we don't have the replacements coming in. It's sad that we spend more time in our Armed Services Committee listening to Secretary Austin or other generals coming in saying that they focus a lot on diversity and equity and equality. And you sit there and you scratch your head. You go, you do know China's like a major threat, and we're going to have a choice coming up pretty quick when they decide they're going to invade Taiwan. That we either defend Taiwan and be ready for a all-out war, or it's going to be the first time in mankind that transition of a world power takes place without a conflict breaking out.
Yeah.
And we can't allow that to do it. We can't allow to just stand by and allow communist countries like China to take over the world, because they'll choke us out and literally starve us out. And we will look like Venezuela in 10 years from now.
Yeah, well, they're already vacuuming out resources from all over Africa and even South America now. Senator, we're not even going into the tech side of this, the cyber wars that they are likely more equipped than we think to wage. I want to talk about this Pentagon study, though. It says among those ineligible for only one reason, being overweight, was the highest disqualification at 11%. Right. Drug use, physical, medical, physical only, and mental health. And here's the issue, though. You raised a family of like state champion wrestlers. Why does the rest of America not have the same mentality as your family?
Well, first of all, sleeping in isn't an option in our family. Either you're getting up and working out with me, or we're getting up and working on the ranch. Those are really your two options. Wrestling wasn't an option either. Either you're going to wrestle and like it, or wrestle and don't like it. So you really choose your attitude. But it also goes all the way to our school systems too. Which, by the way, hey, saying that, we got one kid that's committed to wrestle at the University of Oklahoma, one kid that's committed to wrestle at Oklahoma State, and they're going to get their education paid for by competing in sports. But you think about this, it goes farther to our schools too. We've basically taken out physical education. We've allowed kids to sit in the stadiums and look at their phone all day instead of making them run. And if you run them too hard, and God forbid you run them and one of them may puke, which used to be almost a requirement every day in our practice in high school. If you do that, then you're probably going to get fired. But we're teaching kids that they can be lazy. I even go back to this: the four-day school system. If they get used to going to school only 4 days a week, then they're going to get used to only working 4 days a week too. When you get used to being able to sleep in because you're working from home, then you're going to have kids that are going to see you being lazy too. And so we have to realize that this is our own problem. This really isn't the Department of Defense's issue, because we're sending our kids to them that way. Right. We need to be raising our kids better, and that starts at home.
Yeah, well, working from home is a 7-day job for you, sir, and your family too, because you got a ranch on top of all this.
Yeah, this is true.
In spirit of this program, we want to solve problems. I got about a minute left. How the heck do we fix this?
Well, we fix it by putting importance on physical education again. And honestly, every household is responsible for themselves. We need to be looking at ourselves. The parents lead from the front, just like a leader leads from the front. And I never ask my kids to work out without me leading from the front. And sometimes I hate it too. But I'm 45, you're 40, but I still get up and get after it every day. And I want my kids to see that. That starts at home, because if you're physically sound, you'll also be mentally sound. If you feel good about yourself, you'll be able to perform at a higher level. You'll have a confidence about you every time you walk into a difficult situation, because you push yourself to the limit that day. And that breeds leaders. And that's what America is known for: getting up every day, making the best out of the situation we have, and knowing that your forecast for that day depends on the way you perform.
Yeah, well, it's no shock that all of your kids are state place winning and state champion wrestlers. Senator Markwayne Mullin, honor to have you on, sir. Just honestly, you're an inspiration for the rest of the country.
Carl, thank you, and thanks for what you did too, because I do my job because you did your job well.
All right.